Accounting for sustainability. Most people, or many people, especially in the U.S., have not heard about sustainability accounting. And when they think about sustainability, what do they think about? They start thinking about either cap and trade, or they think about global warming. What really goes so much further, whether or not you believe in global warming or not, is not for anyone to judge. That's a personal opinion I found for a lot of people. But this really has very little to do with that. It has a lot to do, though, with the depletion of our natural resources around the world, and the fact that we and China are the two largest carbon emitters. What is happening in America, the U.S. is really behind here. We're the least. We've done less than anybody else around the world on this issue. But as accountants, it's kind of two ways to look at it. First is sustainability within firms. We're going to be providing toolkits this year for your optional use, which will help you develop a firm which in fact is going to be considered a green firm. This will be a big issue at council this year for the council members who are in the audience also. One of the things we'll be talking about and doing breakouts on. So we hope to go down the rule there. That's just a way of helping the firms basically walk the talk. Then there's sustainability accounting. Currently there's 17 organizations around the world developing standards for sustainability. Those are now starting to come together because they all realize that it's better to be part of a group that wins than being one of the 16 who is not accepted. They're all coming together, and we would expect probably within the next 2 years some very significant sustainability standards and measurement tools. And sustainability will in fact be the economic effect of sustainability created by an entity will be in fact monitored and reported on in financial reporting. They refer to it as the triple bottom line because it has economic interest clearly to most businesses, social interest, and environmental interest. I was down in Puerto Rico speaking to the Inter-American Accounting Association about 3 or 4 months ago now, and on my flight back I sat next to a young engineer whose firm does work for nothing but the big bottling companies all over the world. And what they do is they process re-engineer the development of the 2 major drink brands in this country at all the plants all over the world. He happened to be the partner in charge of the Puerto Rican. He'd been working on it for 6 years. And it was all about sustainability. He said, I'm on the sustainability project. It's taken us 6 years. We're in our final months of redevelopment of this plant. And he says, this is really big in my business, but he says, I can only imagine in your profession how big this must be. And I said, we're pretty far behind, I have to admit. But that's our competition, quite frankly, is the engineers. The engineers would also like to be the ones who report on this ultimately. So I said the tipping point in the U.S. is when Walmart in June announced a plan for all their supply chain. They've got one of the largest supply chains in the world, where they're coming out with a sustainability index. The idea is within 4 to 5 years, you'll walk into a Walmart store, you'll see 2 hoses. And you've got your first hose might have a sustainability index on it of 46. The one sitting right next to it might be 92. Which one is the consumer going to buy if they're both priced the same? Most people believe they're going to go with the 92. Certainly Walmart does. And they've been right on predicting an awful lot of stuff. So with that supply chain they have, where they're going with this is in fact a sustainability index for their products. If it's going to be on their products, you can bet it's going to be on a lot of other products, and we will have their sustainability index. That's what I called in this country the tipping point for this concept. I think I've covered most all this. This is the part of the council members will be exposed. Prince Charles will be presenting to the council via video when we're in Las Vegas next month and talking about his whole project on sustainability, which we've been reporting on. These are members of the staff except for Bob Lux. Bob Lux is the Senior Director of External Reporting at Microsoft. He's a member of the AICPA board with us. He's responsible for all external financial reporting of Microsoft. And I can tell you this is a big project for them. Microsoft, being a very socially responsible company also, is in fact very interested and very involved in the sustainability movement.